Hooray! Hi everyone, this is Lillian Mutambo. Thank you so much for tuning onto my YouTube channel, Lillian Mutambo's TV. I just wanted us to talk about this topic, which is trending at the moment in Zambia. And it's quite a sad one because um, we are just about to enter into the election year, which is 2021. And to hear such news is heartbreaking. I've titled it the way I've titled it deliberately because of YouTube. Sometimes they just behave funny when you title videos like this. But I'm here to talk about Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, who has been sentenced to prison, meaning he will not qualify for the general election next year, 2021. I've got some friends of mine in the UK that have also decided to go and see the family in Leicester, because this is sad news to receive, that somebody who's been an advocate. That's one thing I like about Dr. Chishimba Kambwili. He's been an advocate for every Zambian, for every youth. Despite his political affiliation, he has chosen to stand for the Zambians. And he's always been a voice for the Zambian people. And I feel, yes, he might have committed what he committed, the crime of forging a signature here and there. But the question is, how many people presently are fraudulent in the Patriotic Front? We've seen fire trucks which are stated to be worth $1 million, and yet the real value of those fire trucks is less than that. And that's why GBM had to go back to the Patriotic Front, because him too, he also had pending cases. That's why he's gone back like a baby, asking for mercy, because he knows those offenses would have also sent him to jail. So this is a deliberate move. Somebody saying don't play with police. I don't know if you're a card. I don't give a shit who you are. Don't come to my channel and comment rubbish, because at the end of the day, we are here to talk about what is going on in our country, not you coming here to fight me because you're a useless card. Nonsense. Let me even delete that rubbish comment. Take your rubbish elsewhere, please. Okay, so another thing in other news right now, before I read what's going on with Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, as we're waiting for more people, our president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is in Mpika, and he wanted to visit the offices of Mpika, and he has been stopped from going there. This is what the current government is doing. They're trying by all means to block the opposition not to succeed. They're trying by all means to make sure that people are in fear. We recently heard of a privatization case which they want to bring up even in a fake inquiry. A case of 1994, and President Edgar Lungu's name is also there as well. So they want to bring it on Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and they've tried by all means to find cases against him. They put him in prison for 127 days, and at the end of the day, the treason was dropped because they just wanted to frustrate him. So he needs to be strong, Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, but I'm feeling for the family. I'm sure the wife in the UK is just saying, why did we even allow you? Why do you even give yourself? Why do you even give yourself to the Zambian people? And this is what I was saying in the other video that I've shared, where I was talking about Bowman Musambo, where people will say, you guys, you are talking because you want to be in government, blah, blah, blah. And I told people one thing: I have a visa to live abroad. You don't. You are struggling. I can fly in and out anytime. My children are British citizens. So you suffer. And Dr. Chishimba Kambwili has family where? In the UK as well. And this man has sacrificed for you as Zambians to be speaking on your behalf. And then people will be mocking here and there. They'll be saying all sorts of things. Well, after he's out, he can decide to leave everything and come and live in the UK, where he has citizenship, and his wife and his family and his children are in university, whilst you don't even have a future for your children. So let's be sensitive. So according to what I read on the news media, he has been sentenced by the magistrate David Simusamba, who sentenced the National Democratic Congress Party leader, Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, to 2 years with hard labor. And he's been found guilty of forgery and uttering a false document. 12 months count of forgery and 12 months count of uttering a false document. And then, he's been given this sentence because he has 3 counts of forgery, because he gave documents to a public officer. And this is what I always say, that for me as a leader, I am very careful with how I deal with certain things, because I would not waste my 16 years in Britain to come to Zambia for one idiot like that to put me in a mess. And that's why I always do my things straight. And it's unfortunate that it has come to this, but let's be compassionate about what's going on in Zambia. And just know that this is a political move in order to frustrate the opposition. Dr. Chishimba Kambwili is a big voice, and he's close to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who is a UPND president. And they've tried by all means to frustrate him so badly as well, blocking him here and there. And Dr. Chishimba Kambwili has, stood beside him as a voice. And I'm sure President Hakainde Hichilema would want to go and visit him, but guess what? Dr. Chishimba Kambwili's whereabouts will never be known. My biggest prayer is that during this time, as he is in the cells, that he should only accept food given to him by his family. Because what we don't want is after 12 months he comes out with any disease or any form of mental health. It's quite depressing to be inside there. That's, people robbing of your freedom. But we've seen Dr. Chitalu Chilufya with cases of $17 million. I mean, you can imagine. How can you allocate $17 million to a pharmacy which doesn't exist? And then you are acquitted and you're told you are free to go. We also have another idiot, who is a cadre, a strong political cadre. I think they call him JJ or something. The idiot went to the police station, Central Police, and beat up the police officers, robbed them, and he was found not guilty, despite the levels of evidence. Too much criminality going on in the patriotic front, and then they're trying to find faults in the opposition leadership. And that's why this earlier I had an interview on KBN TV virtually, and they were asking me certain questions. And one thing I explained to them, I was like, look, this government is very desperate. They're desperate for power. They're desperate to see themselves go in, and they know that they don't stand a chance. I've shared a video where somebody said, somebody saying her language is terrible. If somebody's an idiot, somebody's an idiot. Somebody cannot go to the police station to beat up people, and then you say it's okay, it's fine. Police officers are lawmakers. Regardless of anything, if a police officer comes to me and tells me, Lillian, you're not wearing a mask, stop this meeting, and then I go and beat up the police officer, and then you tell me everything is okay with that, so I have every right to call the person an idiot. So if you don't like, leave my YouTube channel. This is what we are talking about, where people have the audacity to do whatever they want to do, and then at the end of the day, you who's not singing power to, you are nothing. As long as Dr. Chishimba Kambwili was working in the patriotic front, he would have still been there, but he has refused, because he said the founding member of this party, Michael Chilufya Sata, may his soul rest in peace, this was what the vision he had for this party. The party is now being run by a bunch of thieves. If we do checks and balances and check out what's going on, I mean, tell me, the fire trucks that they ordered for $1 million, if that truck is worth $1 million, no, it's not. Tell me, Al Jazeera has reported that over $21 million of medical supplies. Not me, it's Al Jazeera. And Zambia now is among the most corrupt nations presently. And then we see Lillian Mutambo. He's going to have a rally on the 17th of October. And that rally, I'm blocking you from my channel. Nice bots, I don't care who you are. Block you from my channel. Period. You'll never come to my channel. This is YouTube. This is not those cadarism you do on Facebook, on that useless village kind of platform you do things. Okay, so we have Al Jazeera reporting that Zambia has had more than $21 million worth of medical supplies missing. How can those medical supplies go missing? Only if there is no accountability. And right now, the world is concerned. We've had the British government turn up, sent somebody to speak, a spokesperson, to speak to the president, and spoke to President Hakainde Hichilema about the elections. And there's a video that I shared where I was practically talking about what's in the Zambian Observer, about the plans where in each polling station, the current government, PF, wants to send cadres there. For what? If we are in a democracy, people should be allowed to go to these places and vote freely. And they're also trying by all means to stop anybody from the opposition to be present in those meetings, you know. So it's up to you, my people, to select a government that you know will bring hope and change. Otherwise, our humble leader has no vision for our country. Otherwise, our humble leader will invite you for another prayer on the 18th of October, and you're going to go and fast. What's the point of us fasting if there's no right to movement? There's no right to freedom. There's no right to figure of speech. There's no right to you to express yourselves publicly. There's no right for you to even go and see a friend elsewhere. As long as you are in the opposition, you are against the government. I shared a video of somebody who was stabbed. It's on my YouTube channel. The guy was stabbed for simply wearing HH. And all the people saw was HH, and they stabbed him. And then the HH was Harley Hansen. Some blocking you as well. I don't care. This is not Facebook. Go and make noise on Facebook. On the village Facebook where anybody can talk rubbish. Not here. You will never come to my channel. You're blocked. Okay. Yeah, so he has been arrested. People are asking, what is this I'm saying? So Dr. Chishimba Kambwili has been arrested and he's been in prison for 12 months. And it's a gimmick. Obviously, he won't qualify. And that's why GBM went running back to PF, because him too, he had his own cases which they would have brought it up. And if they brought it out, he would have gone back. He would have gone to jail as well. But I commend Dr. Chishimba Kambwili for his bravery. Yeah, I commend him for his bravery. Somebody says, Lily, we're going to fast fast. Anyway, we're going to fast. We're going to stop what's going on. You can fast. It's your own wahala. Me, I'll eat my T-bone and chips. Yeah, so he's been arrested. People are asking what's going on. He has been arrested for, for forgery. From what I understand the case, what happened was, whilst he was a minister, he had signed a document which gave him some money or something like that. And the signature, I believe, is supposed to be for the son, and it's not the original signature, something like that. But the question that we should ask is, how many corrupt PF do we have? So many, right? This is the most corrupt government ever. forget about the road that they built for you, and when they build the road, you tell me. Tokozila says, watching from Seattle, hope you received my email. No, which email did you use? My email address is lillianmutamstv@gmail.com. Yeah, so he has been arrested for forgery, and it's come in time when, from Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, Dr. Chishimba Kambwili is the second, and there was also rumors lingering around social media that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema and Dr. Kambwili were trying to form an alliance. And to be honest, I like the relationship between Dr. Chishimba Kambwili and Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. They get along so well. They speak for each other. They hold meetings together, and it's always good to see them work together. So by putting him down, who's next? That's the question people are asking. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is the next target. That's why they've tried to bring all those allegations about, privatization of 1994, and the people who have been involved are even dead. Dr. Frederick Chiluba is dead. He was a president, and there's an article where I was reading where they were saying that they are trying to bring somebody else who was in government then to testify against President Hakainde Hichilema. So the question is, are they trying to testify against him on merit or just lies? Okay, yeah, somebody, Jesus says, Lily, don't tolerate any nonsense and negative people, and you are winning because you are genuinely trying to help. And I told people, look, I have any problem, Kasa. Like the Ghanaians will say, mini problem. My children are British citizens, so they go to school free, medical free. Even if I'm dead tomorrow, my children are guaranteed free education till whenever, and a good life. So when we are fighting, we're fighting for you. Just like Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the man is a millionaire. He can choose to live in the Bahamas, but he's sacrificing himself because he wants to help out. Mr. Kambwili as well, he could have been living in the UK as well with his family. He's left his family to sacrifice. It's unfortunate that these things have happened whilst he was in government, and maybe he overlooked it. He never thought it would bring him problems. Okay, let me read this comment. Somebody said, so are we saying the charges were just fabricated on him? No, we are not saying the charges were fabricated on him. We are looking at the timing. Why didn't they sentence him many years ago? Because as far as I'm aware, he's left PF a long time. Why didn't they do it? They were just adjourning the case, delaying the case, so that they should smash him with 12 months, and then he would not be able to apply as a presidential candidate. According to the rules of our constitution, if you've been in prison for a short period of time, whatever time, you are not allowed to apply for any presidential or any position for a period of 5 years. So this is basically banning Dr. Chishimba Kambwili from the political scenery. But I like this comment that somebody commented on my Facebook. This person said, and I didn't even think about it. This person said, look, let's look at it like Joseph. Joseph went to prison. And when he went to prison, what happened? God liberated him from there. His testimony and breakthrough came from there. And this person said, who knows? This is an opportunity for Dr. Chishimba Kambwili to campaign whilst in prison. And I thought about it. I said, look, I've never thought about it. So in as much as they are planning evil, God has a plan for our country. And if they claim to be Christians who have not collected power from evil deities, then we will see who is bigger. And God will allow this, because what God does is he allows people to do what they want to do, giving them a chance to change. And when the time comes, I'm telling you, it's going to be bad next year. Majority of them should be ready to spend time in prison. Majority of them should be ready to even fly out of the country. Believe you me. And Sia1 has posted something on his media, and the reason why I'll talk about it is because we know Sia1 is the one who started this thing of, the government, and we the youths, we rose up. I was never bothered talking about the government. And most of you discovered me because of the way he kept on talking. And I was sharing. I was shocked. I was never bothered. I thought, oh, I'll just continue living my life, making my money on my YouTube channel. I don't even care. At the end of the day, politics, I don't want to be involved. But the time came when God allowed it to happen. And he was saying that he has been prophesying all this while. And all the prophecies that he said have come to pass. Everything that he's been saying about them forging, them changing location, them saying this, them putting Dr. Chishimba Kambwili in prison, everything. And he said, the same way I have prophesied, I am telling you this, 2021, Edgar Changwa Lungu will never be a president. And I agree on that one. Unless you guys are blind, you are not seeing what's going on. Peter Chavala says, so sad. My only able leader in Mbwili has been jailed, but one day Simu Samba will see. Yeah, because we don't know if he's been paid as well. We don't know. So yes, in as much as we know that, you know, he was wrong, he could have gotten away with it if he was back in PF, but he never wanted to be back in PF. That's one good thing we can talk about him. He's never wanted to go back in PF, and he's always been speaking, and he knew that a day like this would come. Honestly, he was just waiting for a time. Mercy Cap said, very sad development day in Mbwili, but failed to thoroughly investigate Chetalu, who was also involved in fraud. Yes, and they want to waste millions of resources to investigate Mr. Hakainde Hichilema over a privatization case of 1994. 1994. Over how many years later? Our government. Francis Junior says, ignore foolish PF members. Yes, I know, they're just coming on my channel. They're the ones who even thumbs down my videos. I just upload a video, somebody thumbs down. I'm thinking, I've just uploaded the video, you know. Blessings says, good afternoon, Lily. Kindly behind what is or the cause of this? Blessings. Yeah, obviously because he had forged some documents. Oh, okay. Tokozile says, I sent my donation for a sponsor of bag of rice. We're behind you. Thank you so much. Okay, Tokozile, where did you send it to? Did you send it to my line or what? You won't be minister. Are you a lawyer too? I love whatever. You are just useless. I will be cabinet minister in my country. Trust me. And that's why I have the qualifications. Go to school. When you go to school, you won't be a cadre. You won't be a useless rascal fighting people on all the medias. Come to Facebook, fight Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Come to my page, fight me. Come to you, even subscribe to my YouTube channel to come and fight me. Useless people. Grade 2s, no education. This is your job, to fight other people. Go to school. Instead of you picking a leader that wants to make sure you have university education, you are there fighting because of 50 kwacha. Cheap. Chinyama says, what's the many case that has led to the arrest because of a document? Memory says sad development. It is well, Dr. Chishimba Kambwili. God will see him through. Yes, God will see him through. Alan says Kambwili is loud, has met his match, created a monster in PF today. Yeah, of course, he was speaking out loud, and there's no way he could be humble. For me, I give him credit more than GBM, who decided to leave. GBM right now, he's frustrated in PF. GBM thought his daughter would be adopted for her to stand in one of the by-elections, and she wasn't adopted. So who is better? Somebody who's sticking to his values, or somebody that has decided to give up their soul because they don't want to be charged. Okay. Ebo says, our Redeemer lives, so don't you worry, guys. Of course. The Almighty God is there. He lives. Whatever the president can try to do with the PF government, try to frustrate people, try to frustrate you as a Zambian. You don't have a freedom of speech. It's okay. But remember, the story of the rich fool. I always talk about that story because that story touches me. The rich fool said, all these things are mine, I'm rich. And the following day, he died. And the president, Lungu, there's a video, you've seen it, where he was saying, anyone else can be a president, but not Hakainde Hichilema. You are not God. You were the last choice of anybody to be president, out of pity from Zambians. Pity. Zambians felt pity for President Lungu to be a president. That's how he became a president. He's not the best choice. There's so many people. There's KBF, those people were part of PF who could have been better than him. Even Guy Scott was better safe. There are so many people there. Even Mao Sampa would have been the best candidate. But out of pity, no, this one is a humble leader. Our humble leader has shown us Pepe. In the next 10 months, it's going to be tough. We need to pray. 18th of August, they say we pray. Don't gather in their gathering. Those are not religious proper gathering. Those are very useless meetings that are just there for the sake of we are gathering, we are a Christian nation. If we are a Christian nation, you allow people to walk freely. If you are a Christian nation, you allow people to do things the way they're supposed to do it. If you are a Christian, you will not send police cars to go and block people. If you are a Christian nation, you will not buy police cars instead of feeding people. If you are a Christian nation, you will not hold one useless rally where you're inviting Mafiki Zolo and Master KG Jerusalem all the way from South Africa to come and make people dance in the name of COVID-19. This is COVID-19 sensitization. It's okay for PF to do these things, but it's not okay for the opposition to do this. Fikapwa. Their time will come, and for you that likes 50 kwacha, I know once we change government, you want to join as well. And our president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, he doesn't even want cadarism. You must work hard. On your school, it's better you do business. He will teach you. We are going to have skill centers in all areas to make sure that people have educational qualifications or even just skills to do business. Nobody will be giving you 50 kwacha at one bus stop, 5 kwacha. For those of you who are supporting me with the bags of rice, I was very disappointed to hear that for the bag of rice to reach Intercity, for it to be offloaded to my car, we have to pay 30 kwacha per bag. That's like 90 kwacha for 3 bags. Can you imagine that? Imagine when you have 10 bags. That's 300 kwacha. Who's collecting the money? Cadres. The Zambia they have created. Somebody, Nelson is saying, no, that's not the case. Are you telling me that the courts were delaying? Yeah, the courts have delayed it. They've been adjourning the case. He's been going to court. They've been delaying it. They've been buying time so that he fits in the 12-month period. But for me, what I would say is, I would still advise NDC to still put forth a candidate that will, represent them, even in ministerial positions, because this is what PF wants. They want to see a party dying completely. But we want NDC to carry on the legacy of Dr. Chishimba Kambwili. The man has really worked hard for his political party. Okay, so Grace Masiku says it's a strategy of how to cripple the alliance. Of course, it's a strategy. Molea says you are such a good leader. What I can say, let's put everything in God's hand. Yes, we need to put everything in God's hand. And I watched a video, is it an article where somebody was saying, I don't know if it's true that TB Joshua has even warned the president of Zambia about next year. I'm not sure about that. I'll try and do my investigation. But I have met many pastors. It's just that I've never shared videos, I've never shared images elsewhere, but I've had meetings with pastors. And the meetings that I've had with these pastors, they are worried about the country Zambia. And we are praying so hard for our nation. And that's what will put me through, is because I am putting God first in everything I do. And for me, it's not about, I want to be a leader so that we chase these people where they are. No, I want to be a leader to bring change to the people of Zambia. They deserve change, and not people suffering every time. Okay, Harrison says, Chabi pa lesa akapingula Chishimba Ali Womba Twal Lava. Yeah, he worked hard when he was in Ron constituency. He has, built many clinics, hospitals, roads. If people are flamed, some zombies says, if people are flamed forcefully, then God will intervene. Yeah, as if they don't form companies 2 months before a tender, and then when they are given money, no checks and balances. When we try to ask them, who is the owner of these 48 houses, they are quiet. Who is the owner of this, they are quiet. We've had Tasila Lungu, who's just a mayor councillor. A councillor gets paid 3,500 kwacha. For those of you who don't understand, in dollars, it's about $200, about $190 a month. But this person was able to fence a reserve, this is a national park, spending about millions of kwacha. Where did that councillor get the money from? They should be ready. There's nothing like you are a woman next year. You are a woman, you stole, you go to jail. Period. Yeah, so Dr. Fine Kalawela says, Sis Lily, it's a sad news. Let's pray for him to be strong. Sike, be what you are, Mbwili. You are going to be out soon. And I believe, okay, you sent it to World Remit in my name? Okay. Was it MTN Money, Tokozile? Let me know. So Tokozile is helping me with what I'm calling sponsor a bag of rice. And when people sponsor that bag of rice, we give it to the communities to empower them, for them to start a small business, which is what our government has failed to do. And that's the manifesto of UPND, empowering people, equipping them with skills in order for them to be able to sustain themselves. So thank you so much for that contribution. I appreciate. Lusa says, more grace on you, Lily. God is too faithful to fail you. Continue speaking the truth. Yes, thank you so much. So yeah, it's sad indeed and shocking. Kendrick is saying, Lily, where are we going? It's sad. It's sad, and that's why the youths are now, all the youths are saying, you see, this is politics. This is politics. Yes, it's politics in Africa, and we need to change the narratives of African politics, because all we know is politics in Africa is corrupt. But if we bring ourselves forth, things will change. Things will change. Whoever thought that one day Rwanda, that was a war-torn country, had nothing, no building left, that was experiencing the war, would one day be one of the admired countries in Africa? Nobody. Nobody. Sorry about that. Nobody. But today, people are emulating Kagame. People are celebrating his efforts. He recently appointed a 19-year-old engineer as a minister of technology. So why can't we, the young ones, take up leadership and allow the people who are supposed to be retiring to retire? They need to be looking after their grandchildren and not fighting for positions. Mess Cab says, social media trolls are only born behind keyboards. See how humble Tayali was in his face-to-face interaction with HH. They always change their tune live. Okay, Joseph says, but what about the perpetrators in the FIC report? You see, all those things are being ignored. But trust me, we are going to have international auditors auditing these reports. And ECZ shouldn't even dare to be corrupt. It's supposed to be an independent body. It shouldn't allow any form of corruption. And believe you me, those guys, they can manipulate results wherever. But when it comes to Lusaka and Copperbelt, Babe Pelefe, no educated person will vote for this thing. Even anybody that has their 5 senses will not vote for PS unless you are not seeing the levels of poverty. Okay, Alan says, God is always there, but what are you doing to stop whatever? I feel Zambian misunderstands Christian. Gibson says, these people are totally wicked. How could they do such a thing? What kind of wickedness is this? God will see them one day. That's Perky. Gibson says, where are we going with this type of behavior? I'm so disappointed. Ameno Mafupa. And I feel sorry for the police who are being used to stop this, to do this. And I'm thinking, can the police, at their discretion, do what they're supposed to do by law? Or are they just working because they are told, do this, do that? And where is the instruction coming from? Of course, from State House. Pathetic. Word of Otara is saying, hi Lil, why was he arrested? He's been arrested because of 3 counts of forgery, and he's going to spend 1 year in prison. He's been going to court for some time now, and the magistrate David Simo Samba has sentenced him. So obviously, with evidence that they had to arrest him and sentence him. But it's just the timing that we're talking about. Why didn't they do it 3 years ago? Why do it now? It's because they want to disqualify him as a candidate for presidency. So, and Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, anything that he talks about, he shares, it goes viral even on my YouTube channel. The man is loved by people because he speaks sense. So we're gonna miss his voice. There was a question where somebody asked, do you think he's going to be given bail? I'm not so sure about that yet. Okay, Isaac Miunda says, PF, sure, you do this. Okay, joke with God. Yeah. Chikwanda says, Zona Fikapwa, we are tired of PF. Sichabo says, Zambians stop going to the 18th of October prayers with that man called Lungu. Honestly, I even, if I see a pastor on that day, I will start calling their names one by one on Facebook to say, these are the brown envelope pastors. These are the ones who go and collect brown envelopes in State House. Because there's no way. Pastors are mute. They are quiet. The ones that I see, that I speak to, these are not people who are famous in the community. But the famous ones, they are mute. They don't speak about anything. They don't speak about gassing. They don't speak about police being beaten up. They don't speak about cadarism. Just because they have that personal relationship where they can go and drink tea in State House. Now, one for you. You're supposed to be a mediator between the church, the people, and the president. Look at how Moses fought for the people. He was a mediator. But the church of today, very hungry to affiliate themselves, to rub shoulders in State House and go for dinner. Very, very hungry. And obviously, you know, I mean some churches. Richard Hakalula says, you need to pray, even you, madam. God is the owner of everything. I always pray. We go around praying all over. I always pray. Thank you so much for that. May God bless you, Honorable Lily from Elijah. Geshem says, love your analysis. PF is done. And they are not above God. Definitely not above God. And they will be shocked at 2021. 2021 is going to shock them because they would try by all means to rig. I mean, you can bring Mafiki Zolo and Master KG, of which I'm campaigning on social media that he doesn't need to be, they don't need to be brought in. We don't need Master KG to come and tell us about COVID. Why can't he go and speak to the people in South Africa? And what about the adherence to, the COVID guidelines? You're having a rally, campaigning, and then you lie, it's COVID rally. What sort of foolishness is that? That you use, COVID-19, which is a serious, serious virus. People die. In the UK, more than 47,000 people have died within a short space of time. Then you want to call it sensitization. When a musician is on the stage, people will be rubbing shoulders, people will be sweating. Good luck. Okay, Sam Zombe says, I like you, kindly form a political party and speak for the poor and change the Zambian constitution and make it more democratic, freedom of assembly. Time will come when God will elevate me to that level. Juliana says, thanks Lily for answering my question. You're a true leader. Go girl. I like your answer. Very genuine. Thank you so much. Charles says, these guys think Zambia belongs to them. Guys, it's time we open our eyes to eliminate these enemies. I feel sorry, especially for Bowman Musambo. Honorable Stephen Kampiongo, that act irrationally, that act because they feel they are in power. And that's why they've been pushing the agenda of Bill 10, because they wanted to be in government since, for the next 10 years. President Lungu posted something on his page a few months ago where he said, by 2030. I said, excuse me, my government by 2030. I said, excuse me, your government by 2030, you will not be a president. By 2030 doing what? Who wants you? Charles Sinkala, these guys think Zambia belongs to them. Richard says you should speak good and God will bless you. Thank you so much. McDonald Piri says, don't worry, Zambia and Zambians. Remember the story of Joseph and his family. PF thinks they're helping HH to reach his destiny. Yeah, thanks. This person is saying, thanks, PF, because they're helping HH to reach his destiny. God is God. We are tired of this government. We want change. I'm McDonald from Lundazi. Thank you so much. Charles Sinkala says, these guys think Zambia belongs to them. It's time we open our eyes. Oh yeah, I read that one. son of the soil, Edwin Soko says, I know even some government officials are not happy. He was the voice of us, the voiceless. God have mercy. Yeah, so a lot of heart pouring sentiments from many of you. Chikwanda says, Imbwili, Imbwili, Lala Ufwe Te Patali, Zambian proverb, meaning Fika Pita, new season is coming. Thank you so much. So many of you have really expressed your, heartfelt, sincere sympathy. I've just seen a video where a woman was literally crying when she saw the truck going. And that's what happened even to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who spent 137 days in prison. And him too, it was a heartbreaking moment. People were always going there. People got depressed. People died, because of that. Amas Patrick says, hi, my honorable, I've just tuned in. Please, may I know why Mbwili has been jailed? He's been jailed for forgery. With Kambwili, they have pressed the wrong button. Definitely. And people love Kambwili. People know him. Yeah. Akapelwa says time will tell. Definitely. Okay, Priscilla Mutua says, Lily, you're doing a marvelous job. I live in the UK and I know how hard it is to leave your luxury for Zambia. I admire your bravery to go to Zambia and fight for the people. You are a true leader. Gibson says, I want to know the kind of Bible they are using in this country. I wish I was in heaven. You could wish for all these things. And it's shocking that Boma Lusambo can hire Mafiku Zolo and pay them thousands of dollars, but they could not see that there was Dave that needed support when he was alive, and he was a beautiful soul singer. Nobody paid attention to him. But when he died, suddenly the councillor of the area wanted to sponsor. They only want to sponsor at the dying minute. Otherwise, Gibson is saying this is totally confusion, but still they have to think how Kambwili helped Lungu to come where he is now. Of course, Mr. Lungu was behaving very humble. And obviously the whole world is not happy with what's going on. We know that he's been borrowing a lot of money, and the country is at the moment at risk. I don't think foreign investors would want to even invest money in Zambia right now because of the same. Because there is instability in the leadership. It's a risk to invest in Zambia now. But what I would say is things will change. And this was just a short live stream for us to talk about Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, who has been arrested and sent to prison for 1 year. He was actually sentenced to 12 months count of forgery and 12 months of altering false documents. Together 24 months. So 2 years sentence with hard labor, but he will spend 12 months in prison. So he has been found guilty of forging and altering a false document. So Dr. Chishimba Kambwili is the NDC leader, the National Democratic Congress Party. Sorry, my phone is now overheating because I've used it for live streams a lot. So Dr. Chishimba Kambwili is the NDC leader who has been sentenced to 12 months in prison. Gibson says we just have to leave this battle to Jehovah, definitely. Fanboy says sad for the man of his word. We are kicking PF out next year, and they are just campaigning themselves. Next year, please, one of these fine days, help people who saved funds on these two institutions, Ono and ComServe Credit Union, my Monali one. If you can email me more on that, Lillian Mutambo TV@gmail.com, so we can talk about it. Gloria says, thanks, you are really doing a good job for us. Thank you so much. Doran says, we very sad. May God see us through. Please, may I know what is the reason for him being jailed? Yeah, so we're going to have a live stream this evening with all the youths to express their sentiments at exactly 18 hours Zambian time to discuss this. I just wanted us to have a more personal brief and for me to express my points. But I'm going to invite more people to talk about this thing and let the youth pour out their hearts with what's going on. 12 months in prison when we only have 10 months for the election is a sign that our current government is desperate. These are desperate measures. They could have even, sorted this thing out before, but they've done it now. Uh, you know, uh, Patrick says it's too much for this government. I can't wait for 2021 when Bali will fix Zambia. Thank you so much, everybody. See you this evening at 18 hours Zambian time as we discuss. On that panel, you will be invited for you to express your concerns about what's happening in Zambia. Take care.